Hello, this is Michael. Hello?
Michael?
Yes.
Hi, Michael. And I know you're busy. Can I have 27 seconds to tell you why I called?
Sure.
Okay. So I believe we've a breakthrough that lets agency owners increase take-home revenue while decreasing working hours, allowing you the money and time to hire the best staff so your days are worry-free. And the reason I'm reaching out to you is to get 15 minutes in the calendar to be able to work for you. Do you happen to have your...
I don't know if we have a bad connection, but I'm really not able to hear you all that well.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, so what I was saying is I've discovered a breakthrough that lets agency owners increase take-home revenue while finding time to the best.
What do you mean by agency owners?
Yeah. Are you an agency?
What's that?
Hello? You own an agency?
No.
Sales?
We're not an agency. What's your definition of agency?
Well, basically, our founder grew and sold a seven-figure agency, marketing agency. So what we do is we work with agencies
We're not
to
a
double their
marketing
take-home
agency.
income. Uh-huh. Okay. All right, I'll let you go then. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so a few things I really want to point out, and this one comes up all the time. If you notice, when he opened the call, he said, I know you're busy. Can I have 27 seconds of your time to tell you why I'm calling, whatever. So there's two things wrong with that, in my opinion. The first thing is that I don't ever want you to say to someone, I know you're busy. It's a very needy thing. If you think of someone being confident in who they are as a person, as a salesperson, to say, I know you're too busy for me, is the exact opposite of being confident. Imagine yourself and you have a bag of $100,000 that you found, and you are looking for the person that it belongs to. Would you walk up to, and you see someone sitting on a bench at a park, would you walk up to that person and say, I know you don't want to be disturbed, and I'll try not to bother you too much. If I could just have a few seconds of your time. Would you say that? No, you wouldn't. You would walk up to that person saying, oh my gosh, I'm sorry to interrupt your peaceful time right now, but you got to hear me out. I have something here, and if it's yours, you're definitely going to want it, right? So convert that to selling is that if you are a needy salesperson that's trying to sell something, you're going to be very worried about bothering the person. You think that their time is more important than taking a few minutes to talk to you. If you have something truly of value, you may be cautious as to whether or not you want to spend 30 minutes with them because they might not be a good prospect for you, and you might not be wanting to ask them for 30 minutes just yet. But if you have something genuinely of value, you should be not worried about talking to them for 2 to 5 minutes on a cold call, because you know that what you have will save them money, make their business better, help them to make more money. So I don't ever want you to say, I know you're busy right now. I also don't want you to ask someone, are you busy? We know that they're busy, and so that's something that's not too bad with saying, I know you're busy, because I do want you to assume that they're busy, but I don't want you to be apologetic and approval seeking. It's weak. I want you to be confident. So don't say, I know you're busy. Just open with confidence saying, basically the way I recommend you open is by saying, like if I were to call you, I would say, hi, this is Michael Halper calling from Sales Scripter. Have I caught you in the middle of anything? So I say, have I caught you in the middle of anything for two reasons. One is, it does provide respect for them instead of just barging in their office and sitting in a chair, figuratively speaking, and taking their time. You're peeking your head in the door saying, hey, are you in the middle of anything? And it assumes that they're busy, but are you in the middle of anything? You're holding a frame where you are basically saying, are you like in the middle of a call, in the middle of a meeting, have a deadline in 30 minutes, I don't want to talk to you if that's the case. But if you're just normal busy, do you have a couple minutes? You're not. That's the frame of mind. I don't want you to say, are you normal busy? If so, do you have a couple minutes? All of that is sub-communicated when you say, hey, are you in the middle of anything? The other thing that, did I catch you in the middle of anything? The other thing that communicates is it's a very familiar tone. When you say, I know you're busy, or do you have a minute, or are you busy right now? It's weak, and it's more professional, and when you're more professional, you put up someone's guardedness. So when you say, hey, did I catch you in the middle of anything? It's something that a coworker would say to another coworker. It's something that an existing vendor would say to someone. It's not something that an outsider trying to get on the inside would say most of the time. And that's what you are. You're an outsider trying to get in. So I don't want you to sound like the outsider. I want you to sound like the insider. So enough on that. The other thing he says is, can I have 27 seconds of your time? To me, it's cheesy. I know I've heard some sales trainers say, tell them you ask for a certain number of seconds, and you're going to tell them in that second, and you're asking for that amount of time to tell them why they should talk to you. To me, I think it's a cheesy thing, and most importantly, it makes you sound like a salesperson. Imagine you're calling someone who gets called all day by salespeople, and then they answer your call, and all of a sudden you're sounding like a salesperson. Another way to think of this is, imagine a pretty girl at a bar, and there are guys that are approaching the pretty girl and trying to ask her out, hit on her, trying to get to know her. She starts to get annoyed because it's after the 10th guy, she's annoyed because she's just wanting to have a good time, and these guys are starting to get annoying, become annoying to her. Well, if you walk up as the 11th guy and you present yourself as, I'm the next guy that's coming here to try to pick you up, to hit on you, you're dead out of the water. You immediately, she doesn't want to talk to you. So if you can convert that metaphor to selling in the same way that high value prospects, like decision makers, managers, executives in an organization, are similar to attractive women at a bar, meaning they get hit on a lot. They get hit on by salespeople all day, every day, trying to call them, email them. So if they answer your call and you immediately sound like the 11th person trying to pick up the girl at the bar, meaning the next salesperson trying to sell something, their guard goes up, and I think, in my opinion, you've lost before you are getting out of the gate. So I don't want you to say, can I have 27 seconds of your time to tell you why you should meet with me? I think you can be more casual and yet more professional and consultative at the same time. And by the way, we explain that in all of our training videos. So if I've piqued your curiosity here, check out some of our other podcasts and videos. The other thing that you can tell is that he's clearly reading from a script, and that. So I'm at Sales Scripter, right? So we're all about scripts, but we want you to be prepared. We don't want you to read from a script. We want you to have a script, but we want you to use it as a guide. And all of the scripts that we produce are bullet points. They're not paragraphs of things to read. They're guides. So here are the key things to talk. Here are the key questions to ask. Here are the key benefits to mention. Here are the key pain points. That's what our scripts look like. So we don't want you to read. If you read an individual bullet point, you're probably not going to sound like you're reading. If you read a paragraph, you sound like you're reading. Let me actually play an example of this call where you can tell that he's reading.
So what I was saying is I've discovered a breakthrough that lets agency owners increase take-home revenue while finding time to the best.
What do you mean by agency owners?
See, so I definitely don't want you to sound like that, and so just keep that in mind. The other thing is that this guy clearly didn't do his research. He starts talking to me assuming that we're an agency, right? And this call came into SalesScripter. We are not a marketing agency. There's really nothing on our website that communicates marketing agency. Maybe there are some business directories that have us labeled as a marketing consulting firm. In terms of our NIC code or SIC code, that might be one thing we're flagged as, but we're not an agency. So this call is a good example of this guy not doing his research. So the more research you can do before a call, the better. Now, I do know if you have a list of 1,000 businesses, you probably can't do research on every call. And maybe if you're using an auto dialer where you hang up and it calls the next person on the list, you can't do any research. But listen, at a bare minimum, when the phone's ringing, click on the company's website. While you're waiting for the person to answer, or just take 20 seconds and look at the company's website. The other thing this guy could have done is, he jumped really into his pitch about how we've helped marketing agencies. He could have opened his call with a question to confirm if we're an agency. And that actually, I'm all about making a few questions the centerpiece of your call. So this guy, instead of doing what he did, he could have opened with a value proposition, which is we help agencies and consulting firms and small businesses to increase revenue by 17%. And I'm not sure if I'm not sure if you guys fit with what we do. So if I could ask you real quick, are you guys an agency? Are you a marketing agency? I have you on my list and I'm not sure if that's correct or not. And then that could have been the opening of his call. Now, that would have changed the call in two ways. One is it would have been more consultative, less salesy. Two is he's not just assuming we're an agency. I mean, I kind of actually probably became a little bit of a mean prospect at the end of this call. Normally I don't do that. I'm kind of usually an easy prospect because I do cold calling, we do cold calling. I know how hard it is. But I mean, at the end of this call, this guy was just, he's talking to me about agency stuff and it doesn't even apply. And anyway, so if he would have asked that question, he could have opened the call softer, and then my answer to the question might have been, no, we're not an agency. And either maybe then we end the call on a very, I'm sorry, you're not. It definitely doesn't make sense for us to talk. I'll let you get back to your day, is what he could have said, and the call could have ended on a better note. Or, another thing is that his whole pitch is centered around agencies. I bet, and I'm just thinking this right now, I bet the service he provides probably can be sold to businesses that are not agencies. But he has this whole sales pitch centered around agencies, right? So if he would have asked me, are you guys an agency? I have you on this list of agencies, and I say no, he could have said, well, do you do consulting or coaching or well, I'm not sure if you are a fit then, so that's good to know. We do this, and are you this type of business or whatever? Basically what I'm saying is that if he would have asked the question instead of assuming, he could have, when he found out that we weren't an agency, there could have been a reason to keep the call going, right? So the other thing to point out is that horrible connection on this call. I mean, when you're doing cold calling, the connection quality of the phone is critical. One of the businesses that I started before SalesScripter was a telemarketing agency, and we did cold calling. And I learned pretty quickly that you have to have a good phone connection because cold calling is so tough. I mean, there's so many other challenges against you that if you don't have a good connection, you should just be doing something different. My guess in this guy's situation is that he's using a voice over IP phone system, which is extremely common and increasingly more common every year. We use a voice over IP system here at SalesScripter. Now, there are some very good voice over IP systems and there are some very bad ones. We've used some bad ones and learned from that. To share with you, I actually use Ring Central. I'm not an affiliate of Ring Central or anything, but we've been using Ring Central for maybe over 6 years, and the phone quality is great. So there's some voice over IP providers where the quality is not so great, but you get a good price. Don't save money on your voice over IP system. Or, sometimes doing it in-house, you can save money instead of hiring a phone as a service like Ring Central, and that's more expensive. But if you're doing cold calling versus just answering the phone when someone calls you, spend the extra money. The phone quality is critical. So just want to leave that there. I know it's always good to hear call examples, whether we're making the outbound call or there are calls coming in. So I just wanted to share that with you. If all of these tips we talk about in more detail in our other training modules. So if you haven't heard more discussion from us on these tips and you want to hear more, go to our website, go to our blog. There's a page for videos as well. There are ebooks. You could also go just directly to our YouTube channel, do a search for Sales Scripter, or you can find our YouTube videos all across our website, and you can use that to get to our YouTube channel. On our YouTube channel, we have short videos. We have recordings that are an hour long on different topics from our webinars. We provide a full sales training methodology, and it's all on YouTube for free. So what a lot of companies like ours, a lot of sales training companies, they'll charge you thousands of dollars for, and they'll keep their training under lock and key unless you give them money and become a customer. We give it away for free. It's all on YouTube for free. The reason why we do that is we actually sell a software platform for call scripting, cold calling, CRM, email automation. Our business model, we don't hide it, is we want to get new subscribers. So our model is to generate revenue from monthly subscriptions. I mean, we say that plainly. It's not that we want to take people's money and sell them software they don't need. No, we try to create software that helps them to sell more and generate leads, and we want to sell it. We do everything we can every day to make sure we're selling them a good software product. I'm just saying our business model is to sell software and subscriptions, not sell sales training. So our sales training is all on YouTube and on our website for free. So check it out. And our logic is, if you go to YouTube and you start watching and you watch all of our sales training, by the way, our sales training program is called the Smart Sales Training Program. And there's a playlist on YouTube on our channel titled Smart Sales System Training Program. And it is, right now, it's, I believe, 32 videos. So you could go through and watch those, watch a video every few days, and get through our whole training program. And our logic is that if you were to go through our full Smart Sales Training Program, and if you were to get to the end, I would assume you would like it and think it's good stuff, then you're going to really like our software, because the two just totally align together. You could think of it as hand and glove. If you like our software, you should probably watch our training. If you go through our training, you should probably use our software, because the software will help you to do everything that we tell you to do in our training. So I'll just leave that there for now. I have a few more call recordings that I've received over the past few weeks that I'm going to try to analyze like this. So look for that in the future. And feel free to reach out to us through our website or through our chat window if you have any questions or need anything. Thanks. Happy hunting.